event. I'm Patricia O'Celli. I'm the Director of Community and Customer Experience at Woollahra Council. Before I continue, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands from where we join Zoom today. On behalf of Woollahra Council, I'd like to acknowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people attending today. I pay my respects to elders past and present and emerging. For those of you joining from Woollahra, I'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal and Birrabirragal people. I would like to acknowledge Mayor Wynne and the councillors that are here today as well. Councillor Shapiro, I think Councillor Morano, Councillor Jarvis and Councillor Kavanagh will be joining us sometime during the session. So thank you for joining us. Yeah. Councillor Price was unfortunately unable to attend today, so her apologies are passed on for today. Thank you also to the other Woollahra Citizenship Award committee members who are here with us today. So thank you very much. It's so wonderful to finally have the opportunity to celebrate together and acknowledge your invaluable contribution to the community from our 2020 Woollahra Citizenship Award winners. So I hope you've all enjoyed your refreshments. I know some of you have your little packs and your champagne. I'm also sticking to the water for now, but I will enjoy mine later. And I'd like to now invite Councillor Shapiro, Isabel Shapiro, the chair of the Citizenship Award Committee, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. I would also like to say thank you to all of you for joining us today. And I'm so pleased that we are finally able to hold this small event in your honour. I know it's disappointingly twice, I think, at the last minute we've had to postpone it. So it's wonderful to be here with you all, even though it is not exactly face to face. It's been a challenge to bring us together, and it's wonderful to meet online. So I hope you all enjoy your refreshments, your care package. The Woollahra Citizenship Awards program celebrates the broad array of individuals and groups who have demonstrated excellent citizenship and contribution to the people of Woollahra and or the wider community. Council's first Citizen of the Year Award for outstanding service to the community was held in 1988 when the program was established. Due to the significant challenges we have all faced as a community over the past 18 months, the program has not opened since 2019. So all the wonderful 2020 winners remain current in 2021. I would like to also take this opportunity to thank my fellow selection committee members, some of whom are here this afternoon. Each year they have the difficult job of determining award winners out of an impressive list of nominees. They are Councillor Kavanagh, who I know is enjoying his care package and champagne, Councillor Jarvis, Harriet Price and Anthony Morano. Councillor Price sends her apologies that she's unable to make it today. Residents, importantly, that form part of this committee are Christopher Dawson. Good afternoon, Christopher. Good to see you. Bruce Bland, and our 2019 Citizen of the Year, Kim Edwards. Hello, Kim, and you've all joined us this afternoon. Thank you. Also on the committee, we have Andrew Petrie and Rebecca Harty, but they send their apologies for today. So thank you to all our committee members for helping to make the hard decisions. I would also like to thank all of you here today, either listening in via the live stream or those of you who put forward a nomination. We wouldn't be able to hold these awards without you telling us about the inspiring people around you. So thank you. Before I hand over to Mayor Wynne to acknowledge each award recipient, I would like to acknowledge all the wonderful nominations we received for these awards, who are all worthy of appreciation. And I must say it was really a difficult selection. So our nominees for 2020 were Betsy Berger, Anika Deva, Carlos Duarte, Rimmel Friedman, Dr. Harry Glazer, Daryl Hall, Sylvia Hall, Rob Kitchen, A Unique Hug, Barry Joseph, Robert Joyner, Laurie Matthews, Colin McQueen, Joe Miller, Dear Neighbour Program, Maroma and Inala, the late Ruth Ozen, Lisa Patulny, Leah Slavin, Amanda Solomon, Rosemary Stockley, Lee Stockley, the Woollahra Library's Local History Project Team, Binka Ure, Vaucluse Public School Green Team, Merle Ware, Stevie Whitmont, and Norton Whitmont. Really impressive. Each person or group nominated does valuable work within our community. Their efforts are appreciated, and we are grateful for the contributions you all make to build a vibrant, connected, and well-supported community. I now hand over to Mayor of Woollahra, Councillor Susan Wynne, to introduce each of our winners.
Thank you so much, Councillor Shapiro, and welcome everyone, first of all. And I know we've had several tries at this. And in fact, I think some of you were actually on your way to council when we had to cancel at the last minute. So COVID has made our lives somewhat interesting, to say the least. However, I think it's also given him the title for 2 years, which is very nice and well deserved. I do also want to acknowledge Councillor Isabel Shapiro, so our chair, and we have Councillor Peter Kavanagh and Councillor Mary Lou Jarvis, who are with us. Please wave, councillors. Because, you know, when you talk about giving back to the community, I've been on council for 13 years now, and you talk about giving back to the community, my fellow councillors, it's been a tough year, and the commitment that they make as well. So I do want to acknowledge the work that you do for the community. And I see also then the committee members, thank you so much for your tireless work. I often see the same faces, and it just says a lot for the people that are involved in this, their passion and commitment for the community as well. So I think I've still got Bruce, you're there. I've got probably my favourite photo when you were the Citizen of the Year, actually. That was when I was the mayor 9 years ago. I think we both looked a little bit younger then, Bruce, but
you look pretty good. You still look pretty good. I don't.
So thank you. You know, as I said, it's about community. It's about giving back to the community, and I think that's what everyone here has in common. I am astounded always at the depth of commitment to others that I see all the time. And as a councillor, often, you know, you get a lot of complaints and issues around sort of the roads and the rubbish and the, you know, roads, rates and rubbish. But this is an absolute joy to be reminded every day about the humanity that we have in Woollahra and that commitment to helping others. And I know that you do it out of the goodness of your heart, not for any kind of recognition or accolade, but that the work that you do is tireless because you want to give back. So I really do want to thank you so much for that. Rachel, I want to thank you for delivering. I think you delivered the little care packs. I'm so excited. Guess what I'll be having tonight? The staff here said, do you want us to pour it? And I said, no, I'll be asleep if I actually have that now, or be very silly. So, but thank you very much for that as well, and making this that little bit more special, because I had really hoped for everyone to come together. Now I'm going to start with, first of all, the Seniors Award. And also, I know I rang you, gosh, that seems like an eternity ago. I rang all the winners. What is it, about a year ago, a year and a half ago? I can't even remember. So I do feel like I know you all personally, but what a year it's been. And so much has happened in that time. So it's nice to see you all face to face. But starting with the Seniors Award. So the winner of the Seniors Award is Colin McQueen. And Colin has been a volunteer with the SES and its predecessor agencies for over 50 years. He's had an enormous influence on all the volunteers he interacts with, and he's the go-to person in the unit whenever someone isn't sure how to do something. So he is very much a supportive mentor and a skilled trainer and team leader. And I think the SES Awards was the last face-to-face event we had at council. Certainly, yeah, that's the last one that I can remember before COVID hit and we really had no interaction. So I'm going to invite Colin to say a few words, if that's all right, and a huge congratulations to you, Colin.
Thank you very much, Mayor, and everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and I've got to say that given the end of 50 years, it's not so much outdoor work that I do these days, but I'm still spending a lot of time in training and assessing and that sort of thing. So I'm trying to build up more and more people to be able to go out and help our community in a safe and effective manner. And I need to thank Council for giving us the facilities to be able to do that. It's a great headquarters and well supported by Council. So thank you very much, and hopefully I'll get another year or two out of me yet.
Oh, we absolutely have to. I mean, I love the fact that you're thanking us, which is very kind, but we're here to thank you and your commitment and contribution. And, you know, SES, it's just, you know, often there are sort of times throughout the year, you know, one or two, but it's just been this ongoing need and call out with the SES. It's just constant. And I know your work is tireless, and that of the volunteers. I've been out to the site, and it is just extraordinary, the commitment that all the SES volunteers make to the community and the work that you do. And the work also, you know, I've seen the way that the other volunteers are, you know, they look to you, they so admire you, and you're just, you know, part of setting this incredible culture. So really, on behalf of Woollahra Council and everyone who you help and rescue, thank you so very much. So I think a little bit of a round of applause. Very well deserved. I mean, you don't look senior, but there we go.
Thank you very much. I can assure you I feel it.
So now we're going to the other extreme, which is the Youth Award. Now, it's Annika. Is that the right pronunciation?
Yeah.
Was it great? Annika Diva. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
And absolutely. So Annika, welcome. It's so wonderful to have you part of this and bringing down the average age as well a little bit. So welcome. Now, Annika, she's volunteered at Crown Street and Double Bay schools at their after-school care programs, and Tech at Askham, a program assisting community seniors with the use of IT devices. Some of Annika's additional community contributions include crocheting and selling items with 100% of the sales going to the Sparkle Foundation, which is her own charity. She's also designed and organised a fundraiser for the Fred Hollows Foundation. And Annika has also completed knitting for koalas and kangaroos affected by the bushfires, as well as providing blankets for the homeless. Annika has shown the foundations of not only being a sincere and generous and giving young woman, but also a proactive young community leader, which is really quite extraordinary. That I don't know, when I think about, I've got two girls, and I know how busy life is with studies and schoolwork and even friendship, and actually making this kind of commitment is truly extraordinary. So I just want to thank you. The Tech at Askham, I love that program. For those of you unaware, it's actually teaching people that don't know how to use technology. And I've heard from it often, I mean, I don't like to use the word seniors, but it is often people that haven't grown up with technology. And the gift that you give these people, I've heard people say, you know, I can see my grandchildren now on FaceTime. You know, it's just, I can email. You open up this entire world, and that is such an incredible gift that you give. And that's just one little component of all this suite of things that you're doing for the community. You are an absolutely extraordinary young woman. And Annika, just if you want to share a little bit about yourself and your contribution.
Oh, thank you so much. I just want to say that I'm so grateful to be here. It's so nice to hear from all of you guys. But yeah, that sort of summed it up well. I guess the main thing for me during school and now into uni has been really trying to find ways to link volunteering to sort of hobbies. So for me, knitting and sewing are my main ones. But I think in my generation, there's a big stigma that volunteering's got to be like this really gritty hard work all the time, which a lot of the time it is. But I think, yeah, finding ways to do things you love and turn them into things that can make a meaningful contribution is something I'm very passionate about. So I'm very, very honoured to have received an award for that.
Oh, huge congratulations. And tell us, what are you studying?
I'm doing medicine at the moment, and I'm actually really loving ophthalmology, so maybe hoping to actually do work for the Fred Hollows Foundation once I graduate. But yeah, I'm only in first year, so don't have a definite idea yet.
Oh, well, congratulations. And I mean, you know, really, and I love that idea of where you say linking some hobbies, so that actually teaching people volunteering doesn't have to be hard work. It's actually your passion shared with other passions. And, you know, I use that technology example, which is if you understand technology and help others, it's just such a gift. So Annika, as I said, an extraordinary young woman. We need more people like you. So thank you for sort of leading the way and taking people and others and your peers along that journey. A huge round of applause for Annika. So now we go to the Natural Environment Award. So the winner of the contribution to the Natural Environment Award is Robert Joyner. So Robert, where are you? I'm trying to see you on my, oh, there you are. Now, so Rob has served as the Paddington Community Gardens president and led the gardens construction team, which installed raised garden beds, built a rotunda and pergolas, and installed water tanks and compost tumblers, as well as facilitating many other projects that have seen the garden develop into the wonderful community asset that it is today. So Rob's commitment to preserving the local natural environment influences all of the practices adopted in the garden relating to the organic gardening, recycling of green waste and watering wisely. Rob has been a proud and enthusiastic advocate for community gardens generally, and he and his team have been very busy during the pandemic, which has seen a huge increase in people wanting to spend their time in nature and a surge of people wanting to grow their own produce. So I love community gardens. I'm beyond impressed with anyone that actually can have a functioning garden and not kill it, because I actually have the opposite of a green thumb. So I'm hugely impressed. But the community gardens, what I love is you're bringing people, and it's a bit like what Annika, you were saying, which is find a passion and then link that to some kind of volunteering or creating that community and bringing people that share this passion or want to have a passion around gardening or produce, because it's actually more than just a community garden. It is a sanctuary for people to come together for these lifelong friendships, this support, you know, mental health support and care that you see, the checking in through COVID. So you cannot underestimate the power of, one, that connection to nature, but that connection to a broader community and supporting each other. So Rob, love to hear a few words from you.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to tell you that the thrill of receiving the award has only been heightened by the waiting a little while to receive it. So it's been a tremendous thrill. The community garden, as well as being a great community builder, is also a demonstration site for sustainable environmental practice. That's our fundamental role. And as well as growing organic vegetables and flowers and fruit, we have a number of aspects which we can demonstrate to the public the value and the nuts and bolts, basically, of trying to create a sustainable environment. And we do that by harvesting our own rainwater for all our use. We save 500 litres of green waste from landfill to make compost every week. We use solar power for our lighting and pumping water, and we also, with the liaison with council, we provide a hands-on venue for environmental education. So they're all important things that allow us to have an influence, I suppose, in some small way to the community at large. You mentioned the aspect of COVID, and it's been brought home to us very strongly that we've provided a refuge for our members and our visitors during COVID, and it's been incredibly important. They often talk about places like ours and other recreational spaces provided for the public as being the third space. It's a space you can go to where you can have some solitude, you can have some purposeful work, but you can also have some peace and a chance to rebuild your mental strength in a very friendly and safe environment. That's been brought home to us very strongly during COVID, and we've been greatly pleased to see how that's worked so well for the members. And finally, though, I want to say as well, as the previous Colin said, I think, we're very grateful to Council, and we do want to thank you. This is a great opportunity to do it. We owe our existence to the ongoing generosity of Woollahra Council. I intend to share this award with all the other members, and I wish to sincerely thank you, the Mayor, the councillors and the staff, for all your wonderful support over the 12 years that we've been functioning down there in Trumper Park. So thank you very much. Thank you to everybody involved.
A huge round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. And also you make our job a little bit easier as well, because Woollahra Council, we are very committed to environmental sustainability. It's certainly a passion of mine, but we have compost programs and, you know, we have lots of talks, but actually having people like yourself live and breathe it and then share that knowledge with others. So it doesn't become, you know, here's a compost bin, I've got no idea what I do with it. It becomes, you know, sort of day-to-day operation for others. So you really help us as well. So it's just that wonderful collaboration that works so beautifully. And I totally hear what you're saying about the, you know, the importance of connection with nature and allowing that, you know, while I don't have a green thumb, I've got a great gardener and a little garden, and I get to sit outside and you know, watch the birds come and visit and things like that. So Rob, thank you very much. Now we have a community awards. We awarded a highly recommended in the contribution to community award category, and that's been given to Merle Ware. So Merle, there you are there. Welcome. So Merle has supported mothers by visiting them on a weekly basis as a volunteer in the Mum for Mum program. And she's been hailed as a lifesaver by many of her recipient mums and friends. She expanded her volunteer role within the program and helps the paid professional staff with intakes of new recipient mothers to help them manage the ever-increasing demand for the Mum for Mum services. And I can tell you, I wish Mum for Mum was around when I had my two girls, because I brought them up, no family here and no support. And the gift that you give these mothers, I often see these mums sort of, you know, well, pre-COVID, but in the parks and sort of be pushing their, you know, kids in the swing, and they have that glaze looking at, oh, that is one of complete and utter exhaustion. And you just want to go and give them a hug, and you just support them. It is so important. And that connection between mother and child at that early age, you know, there's all that research that demonstrates if you get that right, then you're setting up the child for such success in the future. And so you are laying the groundwork, not just for supporting the mother, but also, you know, a future generation. So Merle, thank you for everything you do. And I just want to hear a little bit from you, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure. Well, hello, everybody, and Mayor Wynne, Councillor Shapiro. And thank you very much for honouring me with this award. I really am very grateful to be amongst all you wonderful volunteers who have made such a difference to our community. So well done to all of you on the screen here. You really do deserve this. I've been volunteering at Mum for Mum for about 14 years now, and I've supported about 17 of my own mothers. Basically, imagine the depth and commitment the support provided for a new mother, father, or parent is over a full year of weekly visits in their home and at a time and day that works for them. There's no financial pressure because it's a free service, and they are supported by passionate, caring volunteers who are all regularly supervised, continuously trained to provide the healthiest support. At Mum for Mum, our aim is to support the struggling mums who deal with many issues. Isolation, especially with COVID. Many families aren't able to come from overseas. There are single mothers, mothers suffering from depression, anxiety, domestic abuse, trauma, all sorts of reasons. And even though we are not the actual psychologist, psychiatrist, or professional people, we sit with the mother and we hold them and guide them to the professional services that they need. So we have those kind of resources for them. By seeing her once a week, we also build up a lot of trust in the mother, confidence, and a safe space for her to share with us what is going on in her world. We try, and our aim is to get her to believe in herself and to empower herself to be able to be the best parent that she can be, and also to bring back the delight in parenting, especially when you are struggling as a mother. You don't enjoy and you don't connect to your baby. And as you said, Maya, when there's so many there's so much scientific evidence to show that attachment in that first year is so vital to the baby, especially. Children that have had that level of attachment somehow seem to deal with life's difficulties down the line a lot better than children that haven't had no form of attachment. And this is seen quite clearly with children that have been orphaned. To assist in helping parenting form this attachment, finding her own voice, the volunteer gets trained every week. We have unbelievable training at Mum for Mum. I'm so grateful at this superior level of training that we get, supervision that we get, and input from everywhere. And just really to Woollahra Council, thank you for acknowledging our program, because this is what helps us reach mothers and get a name for ourselves out there so that mothers will know that we're available. Well, mothers, fathers, or parents, however you want to put that. So really, as a volunteer, that I get to do this every week. I see the growth and the delight in the parent and baby's eyes. It's a true gift for me. I'm eternally grateful for Mum for Mum. And I'm really grateful for what you've provided for us at Council. So thank you, and well done organising this event. And thank you for all the lovely things you've given us.
Huge clap. I was getting all emotional hearing your speech. That was so beautiful. And I think, you know, the pressure on mothers this day and age, it's almost like there's too much information. And you speak about mothers who are isolated or don't have family, and I was one of those. But also there are mothers that have almost too many family. And there's too many points of view, and they just don't, they think they're doing everything wrong. And for you to have that kind of someone who isn't family and they can just be themselves and say, help, I just feel like a failure, and for you to take them on the journey and give them that confidence and support, it is such a gift. And it is a gift for it's that ripple effect of everything that everyone here does. It's not just the person, but that ripple effect, that how it helps it, you know, the extended family and the broader community. So thank you very much. Now we get on to the winner of the Contribution to Community Award is Leah Slavin. So Leah, where are you? There we are. Hello. So for those of you that don't know Leah, she is absolutely the soul of our big kitchen. And I don't think there's anyone in the eastern suburbs, if not further afield, that doesn't know about our big kitchen. So together with her husband, Rabbi Dr. David, built an industrial-sized kitchen in Bondi over 10 years ago to provide a space for the community to cook hearty, nutritious meals to serve the needy. And Leah's contribution and commitment to the community has and continues to be that nobody in our vicinity goes hungry, and that people from every denomination have a place where they can connect with others in a meaningful way. She is constantly looking for new ways to make the lives of those around her better by continuing to make regular visits with other compassionate volunteers to the hospitals, nursing home, women's refuge, homeless shelters, and individuals' homes. And she's also opened a wig lending library to provide those suffering with cancer with a wig as beautiful as their own hair. She's collecting a range of awards for her work, that's for sure, and rightly so. She was named a local hero in the Westfield Bondi Junction 2020 Local Hero Initiative. And in 2018, she was named Vaucluse Electorate Local Woman of the Year. And I know that you know, I think just about every school child goes through and does something at our big kitchen. So it's not just the work you do, but it's actually the education around that for us, you know, in this beautiful privileged area in which we live, to remind others that actually there are people that are hungry, that are homeless, that are in shelters. And I think that is a really important message to continue and remind everyone that while we are in the lucky country, there are those that are not as fortunate as ourselves. So Leah, thank you so much. A big round of applause for Leah. And I'd just love to hear a little bit about, you know, from you and how you sort of handled the pandemic and you know, any insights into what you do.
So Mayor, thank you so much, and to the councillors and to everyone that's here. I feel a privilege to be with you all. And really, I'm not accepting it. I accept it on behalf of the incredible staff that we have at the kitchen, the incredible volunteers. Often when you'll come, or always when you'll come to the kitchen, someone will say, and so what do you do here? And I'll say, I'm just a volunteer. And not just a volunteer, but they're the heart and soul of the kitchen. And really, as you said, things that we just so take for granted. What are we going to eat? The cupboards are full, even though most kids will say there's nothing to eat, or I don't like the cereal. You know, where's takeaway, or where are we eating out tonight? Sadly, for a lot of Australians, and now especially during the pandemic, where loss of jobs, you know, just security, food has become a huge issue. And what we've done during the pandemic, we've seen the best of the best. You know, yes, on the news, you've seen people rushing for toilet paper and armed guards in front of toilet paper, you know, in the shops. We have seen angels. I call them absolute angels, where there was a chef from Barangaroo, a hairdresser who didn't know she was getting a job back, a pilot from Qantas, and I could keep on, just the list is so huge of the absolute angels that came in on a daily basis, that had no job security of their own, but they knew that there were other people that they were going to help. And I think during this time, I have learned from a dear legend, Eddie Jacku, that there's vitamin V, that vitamin of volunteering, of helping another person, nothing brings you that happiness. So really, I'm in the presence of legends here. And this is something that I thank the council for acknowledging, people doing good work, because I think it's just that ripple effect. You take that little pebble and it gets thrown in. We have no idea. You know, someone looks at someone else, oh, they're doing good work. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. We looked at the pandemic as really as a kindness pandemic. What could we do to help other people? How could we make a difference? How could we bring a smile? And it's not just the food aspect. We all felt the pain of isolation all around the world. Yet, coming out of isolation, there are so many people suffering. Many people don't have where to go, don't have who to be invited to go with. You know, like they say, all dressed up and nowhere to go. And a lot of people are indeed, with the coming out now, a lot of people are suffering that silent pain. And what we say to people is just come into the kitchen. It's more than, I would say it's even more than the food going out, but it's bringing people from all walks of life together, giving them a purpose. We need you. We need you to come out. We need you to, whether it's an hour, 10 minutes, whatever you can do, as long as you can. You know, one of the people washing up the dishes comes on every Tuesday, and someone just said to her, you know, your work is incredible. We couldn't do without you. You know, you're just beautiful. And she looked at me, she goes, I haven't had a compliment like that in years. So that's even before the meals going out. OBK has really become a community centre. And now with lockdown over, I'm so looking forward to welcome our groups, to welcome school kids back, to welcome our corporates back, just to welcome people from everywhere, just to come back into the kitchen. So this is an absolute honour to be part of this privileged group here. And I think it's just, instead of a pat on the back, it's almost like a push forward. We've got to keep on doing more. We're up to here. What's our next step? What more can we do to help the community? So thank you for that pat on the back, but that push to push us to do more. Thank you.
Oh, well done. Thank you very much. I mean, you've all got one thing in common, and that is the modesty. And, you know, it is just such a privilege to be giving these awards to you all. I wish I could give you more, but, you know, you've just summed it up so well. And vitamin V, you know, you mentioned Eddie Jacku, who sadly passed away last week, and an extraordinary man, and, you know, taking that spirit of kindness. And I think you must have been reading my mind, because the world needs a little bit more kindness. And, you know, you sort of teaching that and reminding people of the importance of that. So thank you very, very much. And now, drum roll. Do we have a drum roll, please? That's my attempt at a drum roll, Barry. So our Citizen of the Year Award for 2020 is Barry Joseph. So Barry, huge congratulations. Yeah, we almost need to hear the pop of a champagne or something. So Barry is a very well-known and highly respected member of the Woollahra community. And I want to thank you on behalf of everyone for your wonderful long-term commitment to the voluntary contribution that you do. He's been a very active member of Rose Bay Rotary for over 30 years. and is always an active participant in every Rose Bay Rotary charity and fundraising event. He was previously the Federal Executive Director of the Australian Friends of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem for 15 years, prior to becoming the Honorary President of the New South Wales Division. Barry has been a board member for 18 years of the highly respected St Moses Montefiore Home for the Aged, and he is a member of the Investment Committee and co-chairs the Admissions Committee. So if you take the 30 years of dedicated time to Rotary and the 18 years with aged care, it's a significant commitment to selfless public service. Barry, we're just so grateful for your time, your energy, your commitment. We are very proud to have you as one of our local residents, and you know, there aren't enough words really to acknowledge everything you're doing and the incredible work that you do and the number of lives that you have touched over that time. So truly, truly deserving. I wish I could be shaking your hand in person, but we're doing this via Zoom. So a massive round of applause, everyone, please. And Barry, I'd like to invite you to say a few words, if that's all right.
Wow. Now, first of all, you stole some of my words, or my words were from before, but I've prepared a speech and I'd like to read it to you. But the thrill of this is just is amazing. And it's been going on now for nearly 18 months. And I'll read my script here. To commence, I have to thank you for your kind words you said about me. It's very embarrassing, and I feel humbled. I'm really humbled to be recognised for what I consider is the pleasure of giving back. For this, I cannot thank you enough. Why they selected me, as I mentioned, is a question I still can't answer. When I look at everybody around here, what they've done, what I've done is poorly towards them. But I do what I felt was right. Just to listen to the work of the other awardees is amazing. But it's a fact of giving back that is so necessary in today's world. And I have to honestly say, I cannot understand why so many people just don't see it. They just don't see it. If I think back, my first charitable work was selling legacy badges when I was 10. We used to sell them at the bus stops. We used to knock on doors. And I think they were a pound or that sort of money. From then I helped with Rotary, where, as you mentioned, I've been a member for more than 30 years. I was the treasurer forever and assisted in all of the events, the barbecues, the street fairs, whatever, and still continue today. But at the back of me was the Montefiore home. And this, I say, is proudly one of Australia's finest. As a board member for now 20 years, after we missed 2 years with the COVID, I am on the investment committee and co-chair the admissions. I regularly go to visit the people, whether it be at Hunters Hill or whether it be at Randwick, because whenever I go there, I look at those elderly parents, people, I think, they're my mum and dad. Now we have to look after them. And we've been fortunate. We have a beautiful organisation which does that, and it does it to the whole community, The Hebrew University was another calling which you mentioned. And for those of you who have no knowledge, it's the premier university in Israel, founded in 1923 before the state. Here I fundraised and worked hard to attract students to attend. As I said, one of the world's leading institutions, well in the top 100 of ranking, and it attracts a large cohort of international students, irrespective of ethnicity and religion. My 15 years with the university was an education for me, because by trade I'm a clothing manufacturer, a little bit different to the academic world. These are all mainly for causes. I was also fortunate to be guided by my mother. She was a stalwart of the early community and worked tirelessly for a number of charitable causes. She taught me to help and give to the less fortunate, and that's what I enjoy doing. I've taught my family that, and helping me, and that is my wife, the aunt who's here. Show your head. Thank you. To conclude, Susan, thank you again for the recognition. I congratulate everybody here who has been awarded. I also would like to thank my sponsors. I believe there's one gentleman there, one of my swimming mates, Bruce Bland. And it is a thrill, an honour and a privilege to be included with you all. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, huge round of applause. As I said, look, you've just made my day. I have to say, you sort of restored my faith in humanity today. And I am so in awe of the work that you do. I mean, you know, my father, very biased, he was a very special man. He fought in World War II, but he always taught me, you know, be kind and give back. And that's something that I've instilled in my children, be kind and give back. And you talk about anyone that gives back or gets involved in philanthropy, volunteering, whatever that might be. And they often say, you know, I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do or whatever it might be. I thought I was helping others, but I actually realized I was helping myself. And it becomes almost, you know, I've spoken to a lot of people that say I almost feel guilty because it helps me so much more than I thought. And, you know, the world needs more people like all of you here. So on behalf of Woollahra community, I cannot thank you enough. As I said, I feel you've just made my day. Annika, I mean, look, our youth, the youth get quite a bit of flack, I think, unfairly so. I am just ongoingly amazed at our youth of today who have, you know, the resilience shown through COVID, missing key milestones and you know, still look at the work that you're doing, Annika, and there are so many like you. The future is very bright, knowing that there are people like you in it, and to everyone, Barry, our Citizen of the Year, congratulations, all of you. These, you know, you're all incredible human beings, and I just cannot thank you enough. And now I think I'm handing over to
one word. I'm sorry, I forgot.
How can I say no to you?
Rachel, I didn't mention you, and I wanted to thank you for organising this. I can tell you from my experience, having to organise a function is hard enough. Having to do it 3 or 4 times drives you crazy. So you've really done a wonderful job to get it together. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm just glad we got there in the end. I'm really glad.
You make a good point, because, you know, we get to, as councillors, come and, you know, do all the fun stuff, and you know, we've got a great staff and a great team, and we saw that through COVID. You know, the way council looked after this incredible municipality, and, you know, it's managed essential services. They were out every day when people were at home. So, you know, look, as I said, I think Woollahra we are the luckiest municipality in the whole of Australia, if not the world. We are very blessed, but we are blessed because there are people like you in it, and I cannot thank you enough. So, Councillor Shapiro, handing over to you.
Thank you, Susan. I think I'm handing over to Patricia.
Yes.
Round off.
I think we want a happy snappy shot, if that's okay.
Congratulations to all as well.
Thank you.
I forgot about that. Don't always follow my notes. Sorry.
That's okay. So we'd like to take a photo of all of you, if that's okay.
If anyone's on, we don't have a picture. If anyone's on no video, if you can jump back, if you turned your video off, if you could possibly put it back on, that would be amazing.
That would be great. And Rachel, are you doing 1, 2, 3, or shall I?
Yeah, I can do a 1, 2, 3.
Wonderful.
And I know Jackie's going to have a go as well from the live stream, so we'll get a few versions hopefully.
Okay.
So yeah, just a really great smile. 1, 2, 3. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Like a Brady Bunch, isn't it?
So I get the pleasure of closing this amazing ceremony. So thank you, Mayor Wynne, Councillor Shapiro, councillors and committee members, and congratulations to all, Councillor Kavanagh, sorry. And also Councillor Jarvis is online as well, and all the amazing winners. I love the statement about the power of vitamin V. I'm going to hold on to that one because I think we've seen it today. I'd also like to thank the community team for doing this amazing job of putting this together and really being quite thoughtful about how do you make an event that was difficult to organise special for everyone. So I hope you all enjoyed your special treats today, and you continue to do the cheers. And yes, cheers to everyone. Congratulations. So thanks again for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your afternoon, and farewell from all of us.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. It was awesome.
Great. Thank you all for coming.
Thank
so
you.
glad.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.